Previously on Survivor. With 5 players remaining, the competition got fierce as the final tribal was in sight. In the individual immunity competition Wolf Cup, contestants fell one by one until it was Ali and Cam in the final round. With a double flip, Ali won her first individual immunity idol.
Congratulations, you won individual immunity.
Leading up to the next tribal council, there was a single target in everyone's mind: Josh. Josh, sensing he was the target, spent the last few minutes before tribal looking for the idol. Just as he was getting called to tribal council, he did the unthinkable. He found his third hidden immunity idol that weekend. During tribal council, with the 4 others voting for Josh, Josh played his third idol, shocking the remaining players.
He put it in his pants.
With 4 votes on Josh, his sole vote for Janice sealed his fate.
The 6th person voted out of Survivor Campgrounds Redemption Island is Janice.
You blindsided me 2 years in a row. It's my turn to get you, buddy.
In the final 4 individual immunity competition, the remaining players attempted to solve a 9-piece slide puzzle. It proved to be difficult, but after half an hour, Rabani solved the puzzle, guaranteeing her a place in Final 3.
Alright, Rabani has won individual immunity.
At a late and very wet tribal council, the boys voted for each other, leaving Rabani and Ali with the deciding votes. In the end, the final 2 votes fell on Cam.
And the 6th player voted out of Survivor Campgrounds Redemption Island is Cameron Miller. The tribe has spoken.
This leaves Ali, Josh, and Rabani for the final 3 finale. Who will take home the grand prize and the title of winner of Survivor Campgrounds Redemption Island? Watch them battle it out right now on the finale of Survivor Campgrounds Redemption Island.
He put it in his pants.
Hey everyone, it's Ben here. Welcome to the finale of Season 2 of Survivor. I'm so happy to have finally finished editing an entire season of Survivor. Luckily, no missing or corrupted footage this time around. Able to finish the whole season. So, but before we do jump into the finale, I want to give a huge shout out to Rossi. Thank you for being such an awesome cameraman and for all your help planning the event. Also, huge shout out to Rabani for all your editing help. Without you, I honestly don't think I would have been able to complete this season or had the motivation to finish editing this season. So thank you very much. And lastly, thank you to all the players for your enthusiasm in the game. Despite COVID and only having 10 players rather than the 16 that we usually have, it was still a pretty entertaining season. So thank you to all of you for for playing the game. Hopefully there are more seasons to come. Anyway, that's all I want to say. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the finale. And the season started with 10 players all fighting for the $250 prize and the title of Sole Survivor. One by one, players were voted out.
Paige, it's Trisha, it's Patrick, Megan, it's Crystal, Janice, Cameron Miller. Sorry, the tribe has spoken.
After 3 exciting action-packed days and 7 eliminations, after all the dust settled, there were 3 players left standing on the final day: Josh, Ali, and Rabani. They each took very different paths to get to the finale. Ali, not knowing much about Survivor prior to the weekend, showed her ability to quickly adapt as she traversed the game. She proved to be quite the social butterfly, having no trouble finding alliances with strong players. Always in the conversation and never the target, Ali maneuvered herself quite well both before and after merge. Currently with 1 competition win and no votes cast against her, her game is looking very strong. Josh, a seasoned veteran of the game, making his 3rd appearance, had to take a different approach to make it to Final 3. With the target on his back from the start, he did what he had to survive round to round. And in doing so, he found not one, not two, but 3 hidden immunity idols around camp. Due to his alliance pre-merge and his idols after merge, he was able to dictate who was voted out despite being at the bottom of the social ladder. Josh did what he had to do to make it deep in the game, making him a fierce competitor. Raboni, not having much ties to players in the game, was on the outs in her alliance. At her tribe's second tribal council, she was voted out by Ali, Cam, and Janice. Despite being out, and up against Trisha the Tank in the Redemption Island Battleback competition, she sunk 3 shots in a row, including a redemption, to earn her way back into the game. Once back, she continued to fight, laying low when she needed to, as well as winning the final 4 individual immunity. Her perseverance and ties to the jury make her a big contender for the win. Find out now whether Ali, the adaptable social butterfly, Josh, the seasoned veteran idol king, or Raboni, the lovable tenacious goofball, takes home the grand prize and the title of Sole Survivor. Hello guys, congratulations to the final 3 for making it to Monday morning. Huge accomplishment.
Survived the monsoon.
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, this is the jury. Ramona, please return the individual immunity idol. Thank you. Alright, today's... okay guys, how this game works is pretty simple. You guys got 4 puzzles in front of you, okay? Increasing in difficulty each time, supposedly. The last one is really hard, so don't think if you're behind that you're going to lose, because the last one could make or break the whole thing. Anyway, it's besides the point. Each puzzle will have certain numbers corresponding to it. 4, 6, 12, 14, 15. You need to use those pieces to solve the puzzle. These are the same pieces, right? Except for the arrows are different. All the arrows have to be pointing up. So this has to be played like this.
Oh.
Okay, so it can't go like that. All the arrows have to be pointing up.
That actually makes it a little bit easier.
It does make it a little bit easier.
But you're using every single one of those, or you have the option?
Yeah, no.
And you
have
just
to use
fill
every single one
the
of those.
space,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
Every spot.
Yeah, so like I can't find where's the phone, guys. Last challenge
Good luck, guys.
of Survivor 2020. Let's see who wins. On go. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, Ali's done her first puzzle. Moving on to the second. Josh has completed his first puzzle. Moving on to his second.
Oh, they have the W now.
Ali has completed his second puzzle.
The fuck? Where'd it go?
Ali, halfway done. Her body has yet to complete a puzzle, and Josh has completed 1 puzzle, but it's anyone's game because that last puzzle is extremely difficult.
Oh, check.
Josh has completed the second puzzle and moving on to the third. Bonnie has completed her first puzzle, moving on to the second. The third puzzle is showing to be difficult. Both players on it are struggling currently. Getting her Bonnie sometimes.
Ali has completed her third puzzle, so on to that final puzzle. Josh with 2 remaining. Ravani with 3 remaining. She's got some time to catch up, but it's anyone's game, as once again, that last puzzle is difficult. Ali was using the wrong piece the whole time for the last one. Ali got it, but with a different combination of pieces.
I got it right though.
You got it right. Oh my.
So mad. That's so sad.
How long were you using that piece for?
This whole time.
Rabani has figured out the cross in the middle, and she's tied with Josh now, on that third puzzle, which Josh has struggled with quite a bit. Has Josh given up hope?
No, I just can't picture it. I think once I figure out what this is, that just makes it so much easier.
Time elapsed has been probably 20 minutes now. Ali and Josh are on the final puzzle. Rabani is on the third puzzle, but it is still anyone's game. Alright, Rabani has completed the third puzzle and is now on the she's now we're all
Celebrate small victories.
now we're all caught up. Everyone is on the last puzzle, so it is truly anyone's game.
I do not know where this one piece goes, and it's making this the hardest thing I've ever done. Not actually, but just getting annoying.
Ali has once again completed it, but one of the pieces was upside down, so it does not count. Ali is struggling with this last puzzle. She's had the most time to complete it and has gotten it twice, but with the wrong pieces or in the wrong direction.
Got it.
Josh has completed the puzzle.
Go! Holy shit!
And has one individual immunity.
Sorry guys.
You have won
I was nowhere.
the final individual immunity. Congratulations, Josh. We will have...
Good job, guys.
Good job.
Allie. Man, like I was nowhere 10 seconds ago. I have no idea.
Alright, so final tribal council will be in 30 minutes.
Honestly, this game has been a mindfuck. You're gonna have to bleep that out. I've always loved Survivor, but actually being in it has really opened my eyes to how tough and challenging it actually is. I think regardless of how you perform in the challenges itself, I think it's 80% of the social game you play and only 20% of the challenges, because you have your team help carry you in the beginning, and then as long as you win immunity at the right time, I think it's a game changer. I'm glad I'm come this far in this game, but still anyone's game. I have no idea what's actually going to happen, and a little anxious, a little nervous, but glad to have this experience.
Do you feel like Josh is going to take you?
I honestly don't think so. The vibes I was getting when I was talking to him, just because of the alliances I had formed, and they're all sitting on the jury now, so I know that he feels that the vote would be swayed if he takes me. So I have a strong feeling he's going to take Ali regardless, no hard feelings. It was a good game. He played really well, but I'm glad I made it to the top 3.
So, Ali, final 3. Let's go back to that competition. You had a nice big lead, and it seems like you were in a good spot. What happened?
So the third puzzle really got me. I didn't realize I had an extra incorrect piece, and I somehow managed to actually put it together somehow. And then I did it again and realized one of my pieces was upside down. So I finished the puzzle twice, but not the right way. And I was really frustrated because I had a strong lead. And it would have been good to have immunity from this, because obviously top 3 is very tight competition. So.
So now that we're in top 3 and Josh won, what do you think he's gonna do? Like, what do you think Josh is gonna do?
I don't know. I think he's trying to calculate which members of the jury will for sure vote against him. And so my rationale to him was to pick me, because if he chooses Redeema, then he loses Crystal and Trisha's vote as well as Megan and Paige's, I think. So that was part of my reasoning for why I said he should pick me. So we'll see if he agrees with my logic.
All right.
Okay, I am ecstatic that I won immunity, that I don't have to beg these girls to take me. But now's the really hard decision. I got 2 different pitches. Ali was telling me why Rabani would beat me, and Rabani was telling me how she feels like I have a better shot of winning if I take Ali, and that she'd vote for me if I took Ali. So, I don't know what to do. Because game-wise, I feel like Ali played a better game than Rabani did. I feel like just the fact alone that she got voted out is like a big black mark on her game. But when it comes to the votes, I have to look at it, and I'm very honest with the 2 of them. And obviously, because it's obvious, they both have 2 locked-in votes. If I take Rabani, she gets Megan and Paige's, and I don't get theirs. If I take Ali, she gets Crystal and Trisha's vote. I don't get them. But then I have to consider the other side, that if I take Ali, can I get Megan and Paige's vote? Or if I take Rabani, can I get Crystal and Trisha's vote? I think in either scenario, I don't get Trisha and Crystal's vote. But I feel like if I take Ali, I can get Megan and Paige's vote. And Rabani told me she'll vote for me. As where if I take Rabani, Ali's not voting for me as well. So I feel like I've already lost if I take Rabani. Because right there, she's gonna have Megan, Paige, and then Trisha, Crystal, and Ali are all gonna vote her. There's 5. I can't win if I take Rabani. At least if I take Ali, I have a better shot of getting other votes. Like, I feel like I get Patrick's. I feel like I get Genesis, but like I never fucking know with that kid. Cam's a difficult one. I get Rabani's. I think I get Megan's. And I think I can get Paige's. And I don't know who else is left. But I think that's 5. And I don't know. I feel like I have a better... It's weird. I think Hallie is harder, like had played a better game, but she's easier to beat based on the makeup of the jury. Help reassure me too. Because something else too that like with like Rabani versus Ali, which is a good point. Ali, I give it to her. Is like Megan's convincing, and Megan obviously is gonna vote for Rabani, and she's obviously been hyping Rabani when the jury's been hanging out. So she's been like working the jury for Rabani and the jury. Like Rabani literally said to me, she's like, "This is non-game talk." She's like, "But," like Rabani said, that's not how I said this. She's like, "Non-game talk." She's like, "But I really want you to win." She's like, "I think you deserve to win." She's like, "We were talking about it like before, like." She's like, or like, still in the game, she was talking to Janice about it. How she's like, "I really want Josh to win." So.
All right, guys, we are at the final tribal council. We got the jury here. Yeah. First off, congratulations to everyone. And especially final 3, because that's very impressive.
Not about you. Oh my god.
Alright. So.
Janice had his worst finish this year, 5th place.
I know.
Oh my god.
It gets like worse every single year.
Next is just like a first down. Okay, but alas, so what we're going to do is we're going to have the tribal council, and then we're going to do some jury deliberation. But first off, final tribal council, just with the finalists here. Josh, how are you feeling with that win?
Ecstatic about the win. Very nervous about the vote.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been better if we could vote 20 minutes ago, because now I've just been sitting here. I made my decision, now it's just been going over and over and over in my head.
So it's still, like, to you right now, do you have a clear decision in your head, or is it still...
I have a clear decision, it's just it's been making me doubt it more and more and more.
Just sitting here.
Yeah.
But no, I think I have this.
Well, so how final trouble works is it works like a normal tribal council, except for, as Josh is safe, the only 2 options for people to vote out are Rabani or Ali. So obviously, since there's only one other person for them to vote out, they vote for each other, leaving the final deciding vote to Josh. So, yeah, Josh, let's hear who you're voting as.
Yeah, this is... Your face was like... I mean, I didn't come up with what I was going to say.
Did you give a speech or did you say the name?
Well, yeah, I mean...
You can just say the name.
I already talked to both of you before, like, you know my rationale why. I'm sorry, Rabani, I'm going to go make you vote.
Alright, Rabani becomes the final member of the jury, leaving the final 2 as Ali and Josh. So Ali and Josh, at this moment, please go to the other campsite while we talk to the jury. Down here. Okay. Guys, I'd like to welcome the jury. We have Paige. Oh, yeah, Paige. Trisha.
I see it's going based on
Patrick. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the order.
see.
Yeah, so you're right. And like facing each other. Oh, so yeah. Patrick. Who's out next? Megan. Crystal.
We sit around.
Cam. Janice. Cam and Rabani are 8 members of jury.
What are you doing? So weird.
My nose shot.
Okay, I already know Genesis about because he sat in the car.
Alright, so guys, you have a very important decision to make. You're going to decide who the winner of Survivor 2020 is and wins the $250. So, guys, just open discussion.
Loud voice. I was gonna say, can anyone who like was very actively engaging with Allie tell a bit about her, tell a bit about your thoughts on her side of the story? Because I don't know much about her game.
That's true.
I know
That's
she's gonna tell her
very
speech,
true.
but like,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what thoughts on Allie?
is this a bad? I don't know. I was never in jury, guys.
No, this is what they usually do.
Guys, I won.
That's a good question.
I love that, Megan. That was amazing.
Like, who formed an alliance with Allie?
Okay, Cam, go right out and say it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we had an alliance at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah, from like when we had the first 5.
So I can speak more to that because I think originally what had happened, it was Cam and Ali who were the original alliance who kind of like then picked me up.
Yeah.
Like while we were in team comp. Through
I felt like that was a very powerful alliance because
yeah, that was a really good alliance.
going into merge, I was like,
For Ali,
how do I
that was
break
smart.
this?
That was smart for her to put an alliance with Cam and I because it was. Like,
did she start the alliance?
That I actually don't know. I got picked up later on. You have to
I
tell
think
me.
I don't know, we both just approached each other. Like I knew like she was like I didn't think she had like a clear anyone on either side.
Yeah.
But I felt like maybe like she had an in with Paige and Bonnie, and I definitely had Janice, and I could also see her, like I could see her going either side.
Yeah.
I think one thing for Ali that I think she made a really good call on was kind of having, if you think about it, having me and Cam as like a smoke screen for her, because that's a really good thing. Imagine
That's
it. Like
true.
you don't like you're never seen as like the threat. You have Cam and Janice who are like the comp beasts and like at least from other people's perspective, like they can win comps, they have influence, they can like kind of.
Did she ever get a vote against her?
No.
Not once. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what?
That's
That's so true. That's a big point. She had a really good,
I wonder
solid
if she knows
social
that for
game.
her speech.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really good point to bring up because
She had
not
a
being
solid
voted.
game, like social
Josh
game.
was, like, we tried voting out Josh 3 times.
Josh's social
Stop.
game.
That's so traumatic.
That's true.
So traumatic.
Yeah.
So I was a
I think in terms
result
of
of
style
being-
points, it's Ali because like Josh was kind of like it was a very desperate play I found because like he just like constantly was searching for the idols, which is not a bad thing, but he definitely knew there was a target on his back. So it was like if you're watching the game side by side, Ali's game was a lot more slick, whereas Josh's was like everything felt desperate.
Yeah, that's true. But I do think he needed those idols.
No, for sure. I want to ask him. I'm gonna ask him like, how do you feel about your social game? Because that might that's
a
an
big
important
question.
question to ask.
Yeah.
Because I think from that angle, I think it was good on his part that he kind of keyed in that people are going to vote him out and he looked for idols and protected himself.
I think he
From
needed
that
it.
angle, I
Big
think it
move.
was a good play for him.
Yeah.
Big move to get you out. Like that was
No,
really,
it was an amazing move.
respectful.
I thought I was clearly over cocky and thought he wouldn't find an idol. Like seriously, like I didn't think. Like I was just
I
like,
didn't think he did either. That
Yeah.
was a huge shocker for me.
yeah, that was a big thing to get me out. That was like really.
We'll talk about comps too.
I was just about to say, Josh had a lot of comp
He
wins
won a lot of comps.
versus Ali.
How many comp wins?
He won at
she didn't
least
have any
3.
individual, right?
No, she won.
She won one.
She won
Oh, yeah, she
the
did.
Wolf Cup thing.
She won Wolf
She won
Cup.
one. Yeah.
Okay, so how many?
Josh won.
Josh won 3 individual, didn't he?
No, Josh won this puzzle.
That
The
was it.
puzzle.
The puzzle.
Tied for comp wins?
Because you got one
Oh.
immunity, I got the other, Ali got the
I
other.
got
Janice
one.
got one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one as well.
So the Josh only got
So
one.
they're tied for.
Oh, so same thing. Okay, they're both tied in comps.
How is she? How is she in
Team?
Team?
Oh, Ali was like a beast.
Yeah,
she was
Josh was
good.
kind of a beast in.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
so
Yeah.
comps. I don't think it'll come down.
I think
to
they're pretty
comps.
equal.
there's
in
just like
comps.
comps. Yeah, they're
They're
now
both
that I
very
look
strong.
now that I look back at it, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
now
actually
that I
both
think
even in
about it,
comps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might come down to social game question.
It's also, to be honest, for me, it also comes down to speech. Whoever can.
The
That's
speech is so
true.
important.
I
Yeah.
still
So
don't know who
important.
I'm gonna vote
Because
for.
comps are equal.
Yeah.
Social game, I think Ali definitely won it. But in terms of technical and
smart.
IQ, I think Josh was obviously the more experienced one. So he knew what to do kind of at all
He was
times.
playing chess.
The thing is, I think Ali's biggest move was kind of utilizing the bigger threats around her and kind of working around that. Because if I was a newcomer and like I wasn't seen as a big threat, I'd do the exact same thing. I'd be like, oh, who made last to your like top 5? Who like did this, or who's like a comp
I think
beast?
it's gonna
Get
matter
rid
if
of
she
that
brings
person.
that stuff up in her speech.
Yeah.
Like if she
Yeah.
says I was using big players, I was
Yeah.
I was never gonna
Yeah.
vote against me, stuff like that, then I think
That puts her ahead.
that's gonna make her a strong speech.
Yeah.
But I would.
Hello guys, welcome to the final tribal council. We have the jury sitting over here, and then we have our 2 finalists, Ali and Josh. The format of this, okay, first off, congratulations you guys, truly. How we're gonna do is how this final tribal council is gonna work is Josh and Ali have prepared a opening speech to give to you, explaining why they deserve to win over the other player. And then the jury will ask questions. We'll go through each jury member and have one question to ask the two finalists, and then they'll give a closing statement. That's 45 seconds max time limit. So let's begin. Would anyone like to volunteer to go first? Oh, and between 1 and 100. All right. 23. All right, Josh.
Oh, okay. 1 in 100?
Yeah.
51.
17.
23 was the answer. So, Ali, do you want to go first or second?
I heard 20.
All right, Josh, let's go. All right, I got this now. All right, Josh, you're up first.
Well, hello everyone. Just want to say thank you for all playing this game with me and continually trying to vote me out. Maybe play harder than I think I had to play. I knew that I came in this game with a little bit of a reputation from last year. So I knew when I came in, I kind of had to sit on my hands at the start. You know, don't talk too much strategy, let other people be the big voice and feel like I'm a number. And that's what I did in the early game. I linked up with Megan and I said, hey, do you want to do this again? Because last year Megan and I, from start till when I went out, we were together the whole game. She said, yes, absolutely. And we made it then throughout the early tribe and the 2 tribal councils that we went to. I mean, Trisha volunteered the one, but in the other one, I made it so that we were able to make it so that Megan and I were the swing vote. I was able to get Patrick, this saves one for Crystal. Megan's always got Crystal, saves one for Patrick. We find ourselves in the best position that we got to choose who we took out. Coming into the merge, I knew like we were down 4-3 in numbers, but I figured like with Megan's connection to Rabani that we'd be able to pull something out. And then also too, I know I'd talked to Janice and Cam before, and they had mentioned that being 3 guys versus the 4 girls, we would have to work together. So then I found myself in a position that I know I was the target. I was the target, but I was able to turn that around so that, again, I was in the swing vote position. I got to decide if Megan was going home in that tribal council or if Cam was going home in that tribal council. After that, you could say I picked the wrong side because I clearly didn't have an alliance after that, but I would actually say I picked the right side. Because what it did was the people that were left, I was still able, even though my back was against the wall, I still had connections with you guys that I was still able to work as hard as I can. I was still able to talk to you. I was still able to get Cam to vote with me at the Crystal vote, even though everyone else voted for me. So that's when I had to start relying on my idols. I was lucky enough that I was able to find 3. I know I made it sound like it was luck, but the reason I found 3 is because I looked for 3. I was up every morning at 7. First thing I'd do, go to the washroom, start looking for the idol. First morning, woke up at 7, 7:10, I had the first idol. Sunday morning, woke up at 7, 7:05, I had the idol. Found it right there in that tree when I was fixing the tarp. Found the other one right there in that tree stump when I was walking by. Then, as you know, Janice told me that the vote was going to be on me. And instead of, talking to me, leading me on, not giving me time, he said, well, Josh, it's you. So what I have to do, I went right out and I was like, I have 10 minutes. Where's this idol? I found it as Ben was calling me over to do the tribal council. I went to 6 of the 8 tribal councils. The name I wrote down is the person that went home every single time. From the bottom, I was able to decide who went home. I was never in a power position. I was never in a tight alliance. But yet, the name I wanted and the name I wrote down was always the person that got voted out. So after that, obviously, I don't need to explain more. Final 4, clearly, Cam was the bigger threat. And then I knew Final 3, I had to win that immunity. And I was able to pull it out and get myself into this seat in the best position between the 2 people that are there that I feel like I have to win this game.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'll stop.
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, do you want to wrap it up?
It's
Or?
cool if you want me to stop. I think I kind of went over my game. That's my probably more detail.
All right, yeah, we'll hit you with more
I was
questions.
just saying, like, look forward to even talk, like, you guys about, like, mistakes I make. Because I know I wasn't able to play perfect, but when I did make a mistake, I was able to turn that into a positive and get myself into a better position. Every vote, even though it seemed like I was at the bottom, I was in a better position each time it went on. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Josh. Ali, your turn.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. So as Josh said, I'd also like to thank you all for being here with me on my birthday weekend. It was a great experience. As you all know, I went in here not knowing pretty much any of you or the general rules of this game. But I think I was able to adapt and learn really quickly. So I think first and foremost, one of my strengths is my social skills. My name never came up on a ballot. I was a part of multiple alliances. And I think each time I betrayed one alliance, I did it in a way that was very low key, and I was able to regain their trust later on throughout the game, which I don't think other people have been able to do as well. So for example, right from the start, when I was so sad when we lost the first competition because I wanted to be safe. But I know that I thought it would be better to have an alliance with Janice and Cam than the girls. So I told the girls that I would be voting Janice out, and then I just went behind their back and sorry, Paige. And so I knew that having them on my side throughout the entire game would serve me well, especially because they were always very against Josh. And so that way I'd be able to play my hand and do what I wanted without ruffling any feathers or bringing attention to myself, which is why my name never came up on the ballot. And then even with my dear friend Crystal, I told her that we would be voting for Rubani because I knew she was close to Megan and Megan was a bigger threat. So we came up with the plan to vote for Megan instead, and that's why she went out. So I think I was able to adapt to the social part of the game, not even knowing how intense or brain confusing it is. I think another strength that I had was every competition I gave it my all. When I cut my hand, I believe Ben's exact words were, we know Ali will do whatever it takes to win, and I think that's true. I will inhale a gallon of beer if I need to, as I did, I feel like, multiple times throughout this game. So I think those are the main reasons why you should consider me for the win. I did not think I'd be here today with you guys, and I didn't think I'd be part of the final 2, but I think I'm worthy of a win because of that. So.
All right. Thank you, Ali. All right, we're going to turn to the jury now to ask questions. So we'll ask questions in the order of elimination. So Paige, you have the honor of asking the final 2.
Okay.
The first question. Who would you like to address your question to?
Oh, okay. So I personally feel that both of you were pretty equal when it came to competing. But why do you think that convinced me that your competition game was better than the other person's?
The first one. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I'll admit that I did not do as well in the challenges this year as I thought. I think I came in way too overconfident because last year I pulled a lot out of my ass and was able to do really well in the tribe challenges to the point that I only lost 2 of the 6. But this year, because I knew how to sit on my hands, my strategy was just don't lose the tribal immunities. I feel like I did really well in the first one. The 3 rounds that I competed in, I won all 3 of those rounds. So I felt like I did good in that. But then obviously I started slacking the other ones, but picked it up in the drinking. But when it came to the individual immunities, I feel like I was right there in almost all of them. What was the first one at 7? So true or false? So I came down to the tiebreaker to that. Just like Ali, we both got to the end, came out of the tiebreaker. When it was the chess one, me and Cam, it came down to us. We both had one more move, but my move was before his, so I almost won that. Wolf Cup, I slacked, but every challenge I was always right there from getting to win, and then I was finally able to win out final 3 when it was crunch time. But I guess like versus Ali, I feel like like she said earlier, she did try her best in all of them, and I did try my best in all of them. But I feel like in a lot of them, I was able to get like that inch closer in both of them. So if you're asking compared to her, why I think better, I feel like tribe immunities I performed better, and I was able to get like just there in a lot of the individual immunity challenges.
Well, I think if you think of the Survivor slogan, which I've learned this weekend, outwit, outlast, outplay, I think I've done well in terms of outwitting and outlasting, because I managed to get everyone to always be on my side, better than Josh did. I was never a target. And then I also think I surprised people with some of my performance in some of the challenges, like especially the Wolf Cup challenge. I definitely thought I was going to lose to Cam or Josh. But I think the one way that Josh beat me was finding the immunity idols, which I think next year, if I come back, that's one thing that I'm definitely going to know what to do, because I just forgot because I'm new. But in terms of like the other ways that you judge who's a successful Survivor player, I think I definitely showed up in those parts. I think I was the underdog.
To me, if the question was outwit, outplay, outlast, I changed my answer. How I just about the challenges.
All right, they'll be.
My question you've already answered in both of your essays. So.
Your essay.
Thank you so much. Please,
All right.
Megan. Or Patrick.
So Trisha, do you want to
answer my question?
Oh, perfect. Okay, Patrick, whose man's career was ended right here, but you're still part of the jury, Matt.
Okay, so my question is to both of you. What's the biggest move you felt you did throughout the game? If you could highlight one.
Want to go first this time? No. Well, I guess it depends, like, what you define a big move at. Like, if you mean, like, a big, like, individual move at one time, I'd say it was definitely getting you out. Because we sat there for an hour and a half just staring at each other in a circle. No one talking, no doing anything. And then finally I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm going to the bathroom. Patrick, you want to come? And as we walked away, I looked back, made eye contact with Megan, pointed at you, and gave a thumbs up. My biggest move was that we literally had no time to talk, but I was able to take you aside, get you to vote Crystal, and then while I was gone, Megan was able to get Crystal to vote for you, and then I was able to come back, Megan, sit down, and talk, like, alright, we have the swing vote, which one do we want? I was leaning more towards you, because I felt like Crystal would have been better in the drinking challenge, which you knew was next, which she did. She got 7 of the cups. Wow. So I mean, it was definitely the right decision, but I think in terms of, like, a big individual move, I'd say it was that. But I think in terms of, like, a move that had the biggest impact on my game, I'd say it, I think it would have to be, I guess, the Megan vote, honestly, because I was able to take a position where I was the one getting voted out. When Janice pulled me aside, I knew it was me. Like, I could tell it was smoke. So, but he told me, go tell Megan Rabani is Rabani. So I went back and told them that, but Megan knew it was smoke. Now we're able to turn it back on Cam. So I was able to take myself from the guaranteed person voted out into the person in the middle and decide who went out that night. So I think that was, like, in terms of, like, long-term impact, I was able to pave out my end game a little bit. It's where the first one was, like, an individual, like, I mean, you could say the idols, but I think that one was big because it took a lot to do.
Okay, I'll keep mine short and sweet. I think my biggest move, my strategic long-term move, was to become close to Janice and Cam. As soon as the game started, I got the sense that they were both strong competitors. They understood how the game worked, and they explained it to me because I was a beginner. And I also knew that they would be the jurors' favorite, I think, from my perspective. So I knew long-term being with them would help me win, like, various different rounds of the game. So I think that was probably my strongest move, because it kept the attention on them and not on me.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. And final 2. All right. Who's next out? Megan.
It's towards Josh. Would you have agreed that Janice is probably the biggest threat for you in ongoing?
100%.
So when you had the option to shake up his alliance and his puppeteering, why did you get puppeteered instead of shake up the alliance.
See, I see you look at us getting puppeteered. I looked at that as an opportunity. Because at that point, Janice and I hadn't been on a tribe yet together. And as you guys know, Big Brother, Janice and I were a close alliance. He voted me out. Survivor, we were in a close alliance from the very start. Blindsided me again. Oh my god! So this time when I came in, like I came in with like some bad blood. Like I would call this the revenge tour. You know, I had 3 people here that blindsided me, and both of you won the season you blindsided me. So with Janice, what I wanted to do, you know, a little bit of payback. I wanted to get in his good gracious. I wanted him to feel like he had me in his back pocket, so that when I got to the point that I could sit there and I could look at him in the eyes and say, I got you this time. So that is what, like, so I know it seems like he puppeteered me, but I wanted him to think that he had me in his back pocket. Because I think if you asked him, even though I was the target, I bet he would tell you right now, he felt like he could come up and tell me whatever he wanted and who he'd vote for, which is exactly how I wanted him to feel.
Oh wow, it's the Dennis.
I also want to add the revenge tour. All 3 of you that blindsided me last year, I wrote down all 3 of your names.
I don't have it.
Next out was that Crystal? Yeah.
Okay, so Josh, you're very good on the defensive side of things by finding the immunity idols, but you did have you were a target to a lot of people, so maybe the social game wasn't so strong, but I'd like to hear your feedback on that and why you think you became a target, and if you regret any of that, if there's anything you'd do differently.
I think the issue about me being a target, like with Alex saying how she never been targeted, she got to come in here with a clean slate, right? She said she knew she didn't really know anyone here. So nobody had any like past perception of her. She was able to come in, become friends with everyone, and integrate herself. I couldn't do that. Last year, 4 people who played here last year saw me last year, and like I was the biggest threat last year. Like it was pretty like open. So when I came into this game, they all knew the game that I played. So I already came in here with the biggest target. Like even though like you're right, like social game, like I did try my best, like I did like try to make friends with the new people, like I always tried to be in the conversations, like joke around, have fun, but like that was all I could do because I already had the biggest target when this game hadn't even started yet. I walked in and like I can tell you now, like why was I the first target at the merge? Because Janice remembers what I was able to do last year, Cam remembers what I was able to do last year. So like I didn't really have a choice. Like I was playing from the bottom from the moment this game started. So like I guess it's not so much that I played a bad social game, it was just that I was like my social game was starting at a negative. But I do feel like I was able to play, maybe not the best social game I was able to play, but I feel like I did try my best. Like I did always try to like insert myself in the conversations and try to make friends with people. And I did work. Like when I had the like idols, even though it saved myself, I didn't just sit there and like, well, I have this idol safe. I still went out and talked to everyone and tried to get a plan together. Like because I couldn't get traction, that's not even because of this game. That's because of what I did last year. Which I think is a little disappointing, but I was always playing at a disadvantage from that standpoint.
There's a grasshopper on my foot.
Can I interject?
Sorry, I hope that answered your question.
You have to wait till what?
I was just saying I hope that answered the question. I forget what how it was actually worded.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Crystal. All right. Next out was.
Oh, it was me. Oh yeah. Fuck. Okay.
I know what to add.
I don't know, for the newcomers, they might not have noticed this, but for the more veteran players, this year was a very, very linear type of competition. It was very, like, it's not as diverse as last year. The types of competitions last year in the Big Brother were very diverse and it's very different. Do you think that if that wasn't if the comps that Ben had set up weren't changed, do you think that would have maybe there would have been a different outcome for you?
Do you mean like the individual immunities? We didn't have to change them yesterday?
Yeah.
I'd say it's a bit of hit or miss. So I'd say the Wolf Cup one, by the game not changing every round, that was definitely a huge disadvantage to me. I am not good at Wolf Cup. Like, and I know that. So the fact I got through the first round was like, that was a tough one for me. But so I think for that one, that was a huge, like, disadvantage for me. But then when it comes to the one that he had to switch for like the chessboard one, I would say that was big to my advantage because clearly I'm not going to win a playing competition. Like I know that for a fact. So by him switching it to like the knights moving, that's something I'm good at. Like I'm able to see the board and see my moves, and I was able to do that. And like I said, like I was able to come this close to winning that one. So it's a bit of hit or miss. Advantage that side, but for the Wolf Cup 1 disadvantage. Other than that, I'd say like it was all even after that. Like the slide puzzle, all of us came in the slide puzzle evenly. The one that we did today, he just made it less running around, but I mean it was shooting a ball in a cup, or like a flip cup. So I think taking that part out, I mean, I don't think that was an advantage or disadvantage for everyone because those puzzles were still tough.
I guess
I'm just
I
gonna,
misunderstood the
again,
question.
short and sweet. I think to answer your question, I can confidently say that I feel like I'm adaptable to a variety of different challenges. Whether it's the social part of the game, I can do that. When we're actually talking about the comps that we're doing, I think for the drinking games, I can do that. Fitness games, I can do that. I would have been down to do a playing competition. And I also think like the puzzles as well, like all of those challenges, we were pretty close today. Today, I literally, the hardest puzzle, I solved it twice, just did it incorrectly. So I think like if I were to come back next year and you had different challenges, I think across those 3 elements, I can still confidently approach it and could succeed as well.
All right. Thank you, Allie. Thank you, Janice, for the question. Going on to Cam now. Cam.
All right. So obviously, with the two of you sitting here, you've made some good decisions and played a good game to get here. But what I want to hear is about what you think was the most regrettable thing in your game, or either a decision or a bad loss in a competition, and if there's anything you would have done differently, or what you think was a strong move on your part to get yourself out of that situation.
All right, so who would like to answer that first?
I think a mistake that I made was not playing part of the game that Josh did. I should have looked for the idols. I think one thing that's okay with that though is I kind of knew that my name wouldn't be the one called because of the strategy that I used. So although it was a disadvantage, I knew that it wouldn't threaten me that much.
Josh?
This is a question. Is like I don't know if I like regret is the right term, because I can't really regret anything because I was able to get here. But I guess like maybe things I would have changed differently is maybe would have been a little bit more aggressive in like the alliance making, because like I said, I did have to like sit on my hands coming in this, but I feel like I sat on my hands a little too much. Like I feel like once I made that alliance with Megan, like if I didn't vote her out there, like we definitely could have kept going. But I felt like that was like a worse route for me. But I guess my biggest thing was like I did try, like you guys know I tried, like I did come to you, but I think I had to be a little bit more aggressive earlier, maybe even before the merge, because you know like we can still talk to each other. So maybe like without making deals, maybe trying a little bit more to make alliances instead of doing it on my own. Because I did, like even though I was trying, I did have to play most of this game on my own. I didn't have to rely on, you know, 2 people that I could tell were big threats that could carry me through this game. I had to carry myself through this game.
All right. Thank you. Last question. Oops. Belongs to Rabani, 3rd place.
Let me see. Okay, I'm going to try to word this properly. Was there a time when a vote went differently than what you had talked about with your alliances, or were you blindsided by anyone or anything in the game, and what did you do after that blindside to change your game to make sure that wouldn't happen again?
Well, for me, it's an interesting question. It's like I said at the start, I went to 6 tribal councils, and the name I wrote down was the person that went home every single tribal council. Yeah, I did have to use an idol for 2 of them, but I was still able to get my target at that time out. Like when I went to Janice and Cam, what I tried to do at that 6 to get the vote on Crystal, because Cam did vote for Crystal, was I knew they weren't going to vote for Allie, so I knew that they were tight. They weren't going to vote for Rabani because I know Janice said, "Oh, she got voted out. I think I can beat her at the end because she was voted out. I don't want her to go." He had told me that earlier. So when I went to them, I tried to put in their head that, you know, it's 3 guys versus 3 girls, and we got to vote for Crystal. So I think that one I could say is the most surprised I was that it was 4-2. But I mean, I did have that idol, but like my thinking going into it is like if they 3 me and the 3 of us vote together, it blocks that out. But if they do 3 Janice, Cam and we did vote together, Cam had immunity, I had my idol. If we forced rocks, all 3 of us are safe because none of us would have to pick a rock. So that was my thought going into it if it wasn't me. So I guess I'd say that's the only one that like I was surprised. Not surprised, but I thought it was going to be 3-3, not 4-2.
Okay. Holly?
I was surprised because I'm obviously close to Crystal, and Crystal told me that her alliance was going to vote for Josh, but then you guys ended up voting for Cam. So I was surprised, but I also knew that that's part of the game. In like the hierarchy of alliances, I knew that you would stick to your team more, because I also told you that we were voting for Ravana, even though we had every intention to vote for Megan, because we created that diversion. So I think it was surprising, but I think you need to know who your alliances truly are, I think.
All right. Well, that wraps up the question period. Thank you, juries, for your question. Now we'll do a 30-second speech, or closing statements. So, who would like to start? If not, we'll...
Did you think about what you were going to say? Because you said you can go first. I haven't really thought about it.
Oh, no, I didn't.
All right.
This is on the spot.
Okay, 45.
Give him a
45.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you when to start. We're going to start at 15 in the meanwhile.
I guess, just first of all, I just want to say thank you guys for the questions and at least giving me the opportunity to try and earn your vote, because I realize in this game your votes aren't won, they're earned, and I feel like that I was able to play a game that's earnable of your guys' votes. I mean, it's no secret that I'm a huge Survivor fan. I've watched every single season of the show. I can tell you every winner. I can tell you every season. I can tell you the vote they won by. I love this game, and coming to these weekends, it's my dream to go on this show. I've dreamed all the time going Survivor. So when I come here, this is my chance to live out my dream that I know that I'm probably never going to be on the show. So even getting to this point is my way of living out this dream, and to have that dream end the best way possible, obviously, is winning the game. So thank you. I hope you guys think I played a game deserving to win, because I know I do. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Josh. All right, so start. So we'll start in 7 seconds.
All right, thank you, everyone. I think just to summarize my game, I think I played a really strong social game. I came in here the complete underdog. Did not think I'd be sitting at this table today. So I think because of my social skills and my ability to form alliances, as well as my strength in individual competitions, I think that's something that you really need to consider as you make your decisions. I definitely came in here the underdog, but had the right attitude and try my best. And as Ben said, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, whether it's an injured hand or toe. And yeah, just thank you for this opportunity.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, everyone. It is time to vote. Yeah, first off, hats off to everyone. Thank you so much for participating and having this guy and taking it seriously, because it means a lot to me. We have talked about the potential for a tie. There are 8 jury members. In the event of a 4-4 tie, there will be a revote, and if it still remains 4-4, then the person who is out last vote is a determining factor. So Rabani, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you, because in the case of a double tie, your vote will be the deciding vote. All right. So with that note, we'll start the voting. So Paige, you are first to vote. So.
Wait, do I see it to them or do I?
No. Paige, grab everything.
Bad bitch.
Two amazing games, but this is where my vote goes.
Okay, so I'm voting for Allie, and it's not just because we're really close and we came into this together, but I do honestly think she played the best game throughout this, and she's most deserving of the win.
It wasn't an easy decision to make. I mean, both of you guys played a great game. You both deserve to be here, and I think it's going to end up being a really close one. But I have to give this one to Josh. I mean, you had a target on your back since the beginning of the merge, and against all odds, you managed to get here. So,
If anyone has an individual immunity idol and would like to play it, now would be the time.
Hands on your pants.
But no, not
Every vote for me becomes a meeting.
Everything that's in your pants. Keep it there.
I'll save it for the bathroom.
Josh does need to poo, so we will continue.
That goes on live camera.
I do want to say though that this year I'm very happy with the final two. I think you both are equally deserving of winning, and you know, I'm just going to jump right into the vote. But yes, thank you guys. You both played an amazing game, and anyone could have won, but this is how the votes played out. I will read them in the order they were cast.
Shit.
Exposed. First vote, Josh.
Thanks, Paige.
One vote, Josh. Second vote, Ali. One vote, Josh. One vote, Ali. Third vote, Josh.
Thanks, Patrick.
Two votes, Josh. One vote, Ali.
I know.
Fourth vote, Josh. Three votes, Josh. One vote, Ali.
Thank you, Megan.
Fifth vote, Ali. Three votes, Josh. Two votes, Ali. Alright. Sixth vote, Ali. Three votes, Josh. Three votes, Ali.
Jeez, nail fighter.
I know Josh has to poo, but I need to build a Alright, seventh. You need better bowel management. Anyway. Seventh vote, Josh. That's 4 votes, Josh. 3 votes, Ali. And the 8th vote, and the third ever winner of our Survivor Campgrounds / Big Brother is Josh.
God bless all of you.
Congratulations, Josh, for the
Okay,
win.
honestly, let me come back. Like, obviously. Thank you all. Seriously.
Yeah. No.
It's a shitty ending.
Alright, but honestly, yeah, 5-3, very close
It was
vote. It
very
literally
close.
came down to Raboni's vote
Honestly,
there.
yeah.
Because, yeah, if you voted Ali, then Ali would have won because it would have probably been a revote. We would have revoted Ali. It came down to one vote, essentially.
Wow.
So, thank you for making it so close, and I honestly think you were both deserving of winning.
Honestly, me too. I didn't know who I was voting.
And whether you did or not, I feel like you guys didn't have bias, so I do appreciate at least giving me, like, asking me a question, giving me the opportunity to at least try. But, yeah, thank you everyone. Holy shit.
Both players played an amazing game, and walking into votes, I had no idea who I was voting for. I just think this player played an incredible, powerful game throughout the competition, and I just feel that he had a hand in more evictions than any other player did.
Josh's line about saying that like the person that he voted for at every single tribal was the one who went out, that was the one that swayed me. I think they were equal on comps and everything, and a lot, like, maybe not social game, but he was right. Even though social game wasn't that great, he was in charge of the votes, and I don't think Ali knew what was going on in the votes. I wasn't convinced, at least.
They both played an even game. At the end of the day, my decision kind of came down to, do I like the defensive play or do I like the social play that Ali played? I think that for me, she made the play that I would have made if I came into it as a newcomer, so I respect that, so I'm voting Ali. Oh, sorry.
I definitely think there were a lot of parts in your game that you could have improved in terms of the social game, but I think you had really good strategies, and for coming in from last year having a target on your back, I think you played really well. So, hope you win.